Welcome, my friends. This is Admiral Revan speaking, and it's good to see you, good to hear from you, and thank you for watching this video. This is a European destroyer. This is the Friesland, okay? So, as of 10.6, okay, 10.6 has arrived, and there's a lot of things have been going on that you may or may not be aware of, but I thought I'd bring you up to speed and let you know what's going on anyway. So, the Friesland is here in 10.6, and it was removed from pretty much the armory because they've made some changes to this European destroyer line and introduced the Dutch/Netherlands warships. Now, there's a lot of things been going on here, so what can I tell you about this ship? Well, this ship has a lot of variety for you. So, it has good armor all around, this ship has, and pretty much the survivability and also the armor and the artillery based on these main guns is pretty decent at 120 millimeters. With that being said, the firepower on this destroyer, T9 European destroyer, is pretty good. The AA defense of this thing is pretty strong. The firing range of this thing is about 6 kilometers. And the speed of this ship is about 36 knots, and it has some good concealment as well. The one thing about the Friesland is that there's a lot of modifications are made on this thing. So what I can show you is what's really beneficial about having a Friesland. Well, I'll tell you this much. There's a lot of things beneficial having a Friesland all around, and we're going to get to the nitty-gritty for you, just for you. So pretty much the Friesland is a definite ship to play with superior AA defense, superior smoke, and also hydroacoustics. When you buy it from the armory, funnily enough, that this ship you can actually start with a 3-point captain, and yeah, I have to admit it is pretty different. Ultimately, this ship is pretty decent in any battle mode. I have tested this warship out in all different kind of modes, like grand battles, as well as randoms, ranked when it was available, and also co-op mode. So what we're doing is that we're putting together a quick battle in this ship, so that we can show you how good it is in battle. Looks like we got a lot of destroyers. So there's been some important information about the Friesland that you need to be aware of. So, as of 10.6, the Friesland and the Netherlands tech tree is really, pretty much in development stages, and it's still a lot in progress. But starting from 10.6, the Friesland will no longer be available to purchase, as I was mentioning earlier. Keep in mind, though, that in the update 10.7, the Netherlands tech tree will feature a new warship as replacing the Friesland, okay, called the Groningen, and pretty much this ship will be available in the armory as well as free XP doubloons. Initially, it was planned to transfer the Friesland to the Dutch tech tree, but as historically she was in service with the Koninklijke Marine Royal Netherlands Navy. However, having Analyze the feedback and the possible options of replacing and transferring the commander assigned to the Friesland. It was best to leave as a European destroyer. So, definitely different. Definitely different. Okay, so the Friesland can be used for mostly spotting. Okay, so it's definitely a good warship for spotting wise, and definitely good for general gameplay. Honestly, there's a lot involved in this thing than I thought. So we're going to take this ship for a bit of a spin. So we got an enemy Friesland in the enemy team. That's cool. We also have some destroyers to deal with as well. And honestly, with the Dutch cruisers, the Johan de Witt, oh man, it's gonna be, yeah, pretty full on. So we're about to find out. Cyclone weather in the Friesland, it is a bit of an interesting time with this thing. So let's just take this a bit to a test. One thing about the Friesland is that you have to be pretty much, you can play it as aggressive or passive, but honestly, it's good to be a support vessel for your teammates. So I'm firing up the hydro and trying to see if I could spot the enemy warships in the area. And at this stage, no. So we're moving over at a reasonable pace. And guess what? There is a lightning in the area. So, play it safe. We don't need to rush in the battle. But, since we are going to slow down to 1/4 and deploy smoke, it is an awesome opportunity to start annihilating the enemy at will. As you can see, firing HE at cruisers is pretty effective. And I successfully just dodged all the Dutch cruisers' AI attack. So that is very important to do that. I cannot believe that the dispersion of this thing is pretty ridiculously powerful. As you can see, the Johan de Witt is deploying his bombers at me. And ta-da! Surprisingly, I managed to escape him. But guess what? The action does not stop there. But this is a pretty fun ship to play. So it is pretty awesome, you know, mind you. The only thing is that this ship, if you play it correctly, you'll be able to go toe to toe with enemy destroyers. Unfortunately, I was on, you know, not outmatched at that moment because I was on my own. However, you know, the general aspect is to make sure that you can use your firepower at will. So overall, Freesland is a good ship to play, and it's fun, enjoyable. definitely different. So getting back to what we were saying before earlier, this is what I was saying earlier. Pretty much everything that you're seeing here is that the Friesland will be available to be exchanged to the different ship called the Groningen. Does this mean they still can have the Friesland and the Groningen? Yes, the answer is yes. At this stage, the way I'm led to believe. So pretty much, Friesland is a good ship to play. Definitely worthwhile collecting. And unfortunately, if you don't have the Friesland now in 10.6, well, I can't say any further than that, can I? But honestly, you'll be very happy to know that the Friesland is worthwhile getting. So, overall, it's got good concealment, it's got good maneuverability, it's got good firing range. The way I played was unfortunately a bit too aggressive. So, this European destroyer has good variety for its hydro and everything, so it's worthwhile using. But anyways, if you have any issues or concerns with the Friesland, please let us know, and I'm sure we'll get back to you, and I'm sure we can point you in the right direction. If you have any concerns on how to play the Friesland in different battle modes, I'm sure we can explain it in more depth for you, but let us know.